to LaBelle, everyone!
We got it plugged in. It's all plugged in. Are you plugged in? We're plugged in. We're all plugged in together. All of us listen to this podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the L4 podcast. I am Lisa LaBelle. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here with you guys. I look forward to this so much. I am so freaking excited to be here with you guys today. Yes! I was just listening to that one song, what's it? I'm stuttering over it. I don't want to hum it because my humming a tune, I can't hold one. I can't hold a tune for my life. So let's get past that. I'm not going to even try for you guys. Let's get on to a little shrimp jazz. Let's go. Here we go. It's summertime, guys. Time to get happy. There's octopi. That's not a real word. Octopuses going like this with their tentacles. They're playing the xylophone. Spelled with an X. Why? We all should just learn on the International Phonetic Alphabet. Spell things the way they sound. God. I love the little shrimp jazz. We're going into this week, guys. That's right. Actually, we're in it. We're in this week. And summer is coming. Today is Wednesday, and summer is around the corner. So I hope you believe in it. I hope you believe in summer because it's about to encapsulate you and wrap its big old sweaty arms around ya. Hold it near and dear. Give you a big old squeeze. You're going to smell the BO coming from his armpits. That's how hard it's going to be squeezing you this year. So get ready. And then I bet you'll be believing it then. I bet you then when you're in that sweltering heat, you give a little sniff. You're like, oh, that's Mother Nature, summer wrapping its arms around me. And I think I'm near the armpit area. That makes no sense. That's completely absurd. But that's what you're here for. That's what we're all here for. Peak absurdity. What's going on, guys? What is happening this week? Oh, that was okay. I think I can hum this song. Actually, I'll sing it because I don't monetize this channel yet, but I can sing kind of like whatever I want. It's not that new YouTube's gonna nix me for monetization. I was listening to that Rob Thomas. Yes. Don't you hold me, I'm Brent, I'm so scared. Okay, I won't. I'm not gonna. Man, I heard it and I'm like, don't do it. God, stop. I'll stop. I've been listening to a little Matchbox 20 lately. It's been raining a lot here in Atlanta, in North Atlanta. Torrential downpours. I was going on my way to an improv rehearsal, and it was downpour torrential rains. And everybody likes to take their time over down here in the South. I don't have the right accent, but I'm doing a northern accent because I'm from up north. And down south, they drive really freaking slow. Like it's like they don't have a fire under their arse to do anything. Good God. There was some woman going so slow the other day that the person in back of me started laying on their horn. It was a truck, and so they were well above my car. They could see what's happening, but I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? I can't knock this person out the road, man. Come on. So now it's torrential downpouring, but thankfully these people don't go out on the road then, or if they're on the road, they pull over. So I'm like, yes, here we go. It's time to go. I got my tires are good. My tire pressure is good. Thanks, husband. He gets me all hooked up with my car, so I know it's capable. It's going to run to its maximum capability on that road when it's raining. And the trees were coming, but you can't help. It doesn't matter how capable your car is. You can't help if a tree limb come down. So I'm like, let's go. Let's hit the gas and get out of here, man. Get out of the umbrella of all of these tree branches that are just hitting the road. Kadoosh. And the lightning, holy smokes, there was a big, huge tree in someone's yard. It must have been rotting out a whole bunch of years. They never got rid of it. And boom, down it came, man. Holy smokes. It is wild over here with these torrential downpours. And what gets me in the mood, what kind of music I want to, I'm not going to be listening to Little Shrimp Jazz on those days, but I'll be listening to a little bit of Matchbox 20. Yeah, that's right. I never really listened to them before. You heard Matchbox 20. If you went to a CVS, you would hear the song Bent playing on a loop, maybe at CVS. Little Taylor Swift be playing there. And I never was like, I'm going to listen to this in my car. But I started listening to it. I'm like, this is a good rainy day song. And so I was enjoying it. Well, another song that came up that I never really listened to, Throwing Cooper. No, no, no. Mm-hmm. I'll save you guys. I'll save you guys from that humming of a tune that I cannot hold. What else is going on, guys? What's happening? Does anyone else, this past weekend, it was sunny. And so my husband and I, we took the car and we rode around. Does anyone else ride around with your significant other? Does anyone go riding around? We love riding around on the country roads that we're around and looking at all the houses. There's some real nice houses around here, and we'll just go riding around. There's a lot of livestock. People can have donkeys in their front yard. They got the chickens. The chickens, they'd be walking around on the side of the road just looking for food. I think one chicken had, it was trying to catch a ride. And it had that little old, the cloth sack with maybe some feed in it. And it was like, I'm trying to, hitch a ride. It had a piece of hay sticking out of its beak. And that was a rebel. That's a rebel chicken right there. But yeah, it's great. Love it. And there's an alpaca farm over here, and they got them all in their front yard. It's just amazing. It really is. And those animals, they're just out there, and they're just eating, and they're enjoying life, and they don't care about anything. They don't care about anything. You think of anything you care about, they care about none of that. And it's pretty amazing. So that's what my husband and I did. And man, I was at the grocery store, as one is always. I mean, how do you go to the grocery store only once a week? I mean, and not forget anything. Every time I'm at the store, I don't know if maybe there was a time once in my life, and it was a full moon. I think it was a full moon. I think Obama was president, and I went to the store and I didn't forget anything. And that was a day I will never forget. But usually you forget things, so I'm there a lot. So I was there, and I needed to get kefir. My husband drinks kefir. And I'm I go for this kefir. I like buying this certain brand when it's on sale because it's expensive. It's called Kalana, I think. Kalana, Kalona, I believe. And I'm okay, I'm going to get this kefir. And then I get bombarded by some dude in a cutoff tee. His hair was in the man bun. And I don't know what. He comes up to me with his phone in my face. And he's like, "You buying Kalana?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm buying Kalana. What do you work for them? You seem really excited for someone who might not work for them. So tell me you work for them." But even though, man, you got your phone in my face. And he had his phone in my face, and he's like, "Yeah, I work for them." And he's handing coupons out, but I didn't get a coupon for my kefir. I got a coupon out for a different one of their products. Come on. What are you doing? Listen, you put a phone in my face, you better be paying me, buddy. Do you know who I am? I'm famous. Do you even know what you're doing? Now your company gonna have to pay me for promoting their product on your whatever you're doing, your socials. That's what I'm saying. The only way I want a phone shoved into my face for a product is if I'm getting paid, son. Pay up, boy. Good God, bombard. He just saw me and it was like, bum. It's like, dude, what the frick? You don't even know. You don't even know what's going on. What are you doing? Why are you in my timeline, man? I gotta step out of this. I gotta get out. You need to get off my timeline, buddy. Good God. Let's see. Yeah, it's been hot. Hang on. We need a sip of coffee. Caffeine 137 trimethyl xanthine. Let's go. Oh, you know what? Let's sip to a little shrimp jazz. Yeah? Oh, well, it would help if we have sound. Here we go. Yeah. It's sunny out there today. Yep. Oh, that is so fun. I just love it. I could just vibe to that all day. So, okay. It is hot out there. It's sunny. It's hot. And let's see. I think it's been in the upper 90s. That's all I got to say. Like 93 degrees. Last weekend, it was hot. It was hot, man. And I mean, does anyone like the heat? I'll look around and I'll see some people in a hoodie and sweatpants walking around. I'm like, dude, what do you do when it's 70? Are you are you getting frostbite? Holy smokes. What? I'm pretty sure my ancestors were Vikings. And we lived somewhere on like the Baltic Sea. We lived on an iceberg in the Baltic Sea. Some of them got scurvy, some didn't. Yeah, I think that's just what my ancestors were. Just very thick-blooded. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't understand the people walking around in the sweatpants and the hoodie. I mean, listen, being hot is one thing, but it's not just hot. It is humid. You out there getting all wet. You're like a slippery eel. Someone try to touch you, they can't. They be slipping. Someone try to, tap you on the shoulder, they be falling over on their face. They just slip right off that shoulder. Good God, that's how it's just like water molecules everywhere. You're not going to walk somewhere and not hit a water molecule. That's what I'm saying, man. It's hotter out there. And then the air just feels like just heavy while you're breathing it in. You're like breathing in very thick milkshake. Very thick milkshake of air. That's what it feels like. Man, it's hotter out there than a bee butt popping honey. There's a lot of bees going on out there. You know, those bee butts, they be puffing out honey or whatever they do. Whatever they do. But gosh, speaking of air, good God, my friend C and I think it was the first show we were ever in together in improv. So like 3 years ago. And one of the audience members gave us the host, they take a recommendation from the audience member and it was air, AIR. You heard me right. And that was wild. And C and I looked at each other like, what are we gonna do with this? And that was when we were sort of new to improv. So we're like, oh boy. But now, C is incredible at it and I've gotten way better. That's one thing with improv that I think is really cool. So it's like, it doesn't matter how many, if you go somewhere and you would like to become a part of a group They don't ask how many followers you have. But if you go to a club and want to do stand-up comedy, well, you gotta have at least 3,000 followers because they want butts in seats. So it is interesting, like this dynamic. But also the thing about stand-up that I love and this podcast is that I can control it. I gotta wait on anybody. And you guys give me the feedback, and my follower count is implicative. Is that the right word? Implicative and indicative. Implicative? That's not a word. Indicative of if I'm getting better or not. If you guys like it or not. So like that's the data point there. So it's all, and I kind of going into this because I was just thinking about this the other day. Someone asked me if I like improv or stand up better, and there's a lot of good things about each of them, and there's things why I like one versus another, and vice versa. So there you have it, folks. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Let's see, the SpaceX IPO. That was wild. That was this week. Holy smokes. That was insane, man. That was amazing. Amazing. That wasn't this. Was it this week or was it last week? I think it was last week. Late last week. Or it could have been. Yeah, I think it was late last week. It was late last week. What am I saying? Anyway, yeah, I think I'd say the most successful IPO is SpaceX. And the most successful baby would be Jesus Christ. And if you don't agree with me on either of those, then your feet stink and you don't love baby Jesus. Moving on. So we got Figure over here. I got a comment on my YouTube channel, one of my shorts, talking about let me see. Let me pull my short up. It was my most recent one about figure scaling. Let's get on into this. Let's get on over into this short. And while we're doing that, I will play this. I could do a good whistle. My brother and I, we whistle really well because we grew up, a lot of our time was spent around my grandfather, my mom's dad, and he whistled he was always whistling. And it's the best memory I think that my brother and I have is my grandfather just walking around whistling. It's the best thing in the world. So we learned how to whistle. All right, this was the clip. Figure just announced it scaled humanoid robot production from 1 per day to 1 per hour in 120 days at 24 times increase in output in 4 months. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. It's kind of wild, like listening to me. Anyway, yeah, I got to do that to produce the pod too, guys. So I am just going to be ecstatic when I'm able to hire a podcast producer to edit this thing and produce it for me, so I don't gotta be listening to myself for hours and looking at myself and seeing all the things I want to fix about my face. And anyway, so this clip was about figure scaling up, and I got I got a comment about right here. Don't unmute, buddy. Don't unmute. I have it muted. So the comment was, yo, where do you buy one? I'm not gonna, but I want to see how much these rich people been rapping. So, I wanted to comment on that on here. Because it is an interesting thing. I talk about the financials and I did a whole episode about how much money it essentially costs to make a robot, anywhere from, you have the NVIDIA Jetson AGX Thor T5000, which I'm pretty sure is the one in the Figure 3 model. And that alone, is $3,000. And then the joints and the actuators of the, like a little finger joint, quote unquote joint actuator, harmonic drive, like a little finger joint could be $200 for a very good one, a very efficient one that doesn't use, that uses the least amount of power possible. So those are expensive. So just imagine like a hip joint is going to be in the thousands. So it's very expensive to build these things. And Brett Adcock, he's doing it, and then the materials to make it, like the hardware and then the software. Helix is the brain, so is the neural net that figure the Brett Adcock over there is made, and like that alone is a whole nother cost, and that's a whole other infrastructure, and you need computing power and tokens and all these things. So it's just, there's a lot that goes into a robot. And so basically, like, you're not going to be making any money. I think you're probably even becoming out in the negative, at least in the first 7 years, I'm going to say 5-7 years. Now, Brett Adcock over there, he is scaling very, very quickly. And so is Elon Musk. And that's the thing, because time is literally money. So if you can figure out how to scale these things super fast, and then you'll be able to actually like turn a profit on it quicker, obviously, but it's very, very hard. It's super hard. And the reason I wanted to also mention, the reason why I talk about Figure a lot, and I talk about Figure a lot because Figure is debuting and showing, like, it seems like they're showing all of their progress, and all of their progress is absolutely mind-blowing. And so I love that Brett Adcock over there, he shows all of the progress of Figure and the training, and he even shares things about Helix, and he talks about some of the like inside baseball, which of all of that, but also like how he did partner with OpenAI, and then he had to let that partnership go. Like, I love hearing, it's just, I like seeing the whole picture. So what I'm saying is, I talk about Figure a lot because I only debut or talk about robotic or AI companies that have a potential financial upside, or a very high potential investment opportunity, and a high potential to scale. And by that is what I mean is, I talk about companies who I believe in the CEO. So I believe in Brett Adcock. Brett Adcock is like Elon Musk. You take a chance on one of Brett's companies, and like you're essentially investing in Brett because he's going to get the job done no matter what. Like, he has that thing in him that no matter freaking what, you can throw everything at him that would be an obstacle and would make him not want to even move forward. But he's going to find a way. He's going to build a bridge. He's going to build an elevator. He's going to build a whole freaking road around the thing if he has to, and he's going to make it work. And that's the same, that is the same persistence that Elon Musk has too. So people who are investing in Tesla, in SpaceX, in XAI, which doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, people who invest in Elon Musk's company are essentially investing in Elon Musk because they know that it takes a special person to be extremely persistent no matter what gets thrown at them. I mean, everyone remembers the SEAL thing, right? No, maybe you don't. But there's a story that Elon Musk told about how this environmental control, or these environmental people, like these Save the Seals people, who they just like sit in an office and get paid. They don't do shite for anything on this planet, but they're like, we need to save the seals, and they don't do shite to do. They don't even they don't help anything is what I'm saying. They're just a bunch of vogons, bureaucratic vogons, and they shutting people down. So they told SpaceX, they're like, yo, you can't do the rocket thing because it's going to upset the SEALs. And so SpaceX is like, all right, what do we need to do? And they're like, I don't know, hold on, we'll get back to you with that. Because SpaceX called their bluff. Just a bunch of Mayrons over there. So they're like, you have to catch a seal, and then you need to strap a camera to it, and you need to do this thing, and then we'll see. So they had to catch a seal. They were stressing this seal out, by the way. What? It just hurts your brain when you hear about this stuff. This poor seal. So anyway, what I'm saying is all of these things, it's not just the act of oh my God, we have to catch the seal and do this thing. It's the act of pushing the timeline back, and that can really discourage. And then spending money on this thing you have to do, to this hump you have to get over. All these things add up that can really discourage someone from moving forward with things. And it takes a very special entrepreneur to keep pushing forward, to keep moving forward, and to get it done. And that is Elon Musk. That is Brett Adcock. I'm going to throw Paul Mikesell in there of Carbon Robotics. He has the laser weeder, and he started off, he has to use these lights, and he's like, no one produces these lights that I need for the best outcome that I am looking for to make the machine the most efficient machine to laser these weeds. So he went and he made his own lights. Nothing's going to get in your way. So when you invest in these companies, you're investing in the CEO to get the thing done, to move it forward, to progress. And so the companies that I talk about a lot, that's I believe in the CEO. I believe that in them, and that they're going to move the company forward and do whatever they need to do, and do whatever it takes to keep it moving. And then the investment potential upside is huge. It's huge. It's the biggest I've ever seen. So, so that's why I talk about these companies a lot. I'm not talking about I don't talk about other companies that I'm not very familiar with. I typically talk about companies in America, because I'm in America. So that's who I'm going to talk about. All right. Moving on. So I wanted to about this comment that I got on YouTube. How much are these rich people dropping? I want to see how much these rich people dropping. So I wanted to comment on this. Basically, I figure I don't think Figure's making any money. I know that Figure is deployed in BMW, and they just announced that they are deploying with Catalyst brands, which is Aeropostale, JCPenney, Brooks Brothers, etc., to put Figure 3 in their massive distribution center in Reno. Reno, where's Lisa? She in Reno doing her show. So, so it's a massive milestone for the industry, but from a pure profit and loss perspective, it's a classic loss leader scenario. Figure is almost certainly losing money on every single robot they deploy right now. And I'm not bringing it down. Here we go. Just listen, just stay tuned. Listen a little more here. Hardware economics at this stage explain why the margins are so tight right now. The death zone of low volume manufacturing. Until a company hits massive manufacturing scale, hardware is a financial black hole. Figure recently announced that their BotQ factory ramped up production from building one figure per day to one robot per hour, passing over 350 total units built. While that 24 times a jump is lightning fast, it sure is. 350 robots is still boutique style prototyping scale. Custom injection molds and die casting tooling for Figure's 3 sleeker padded outer shell costs millions of dollars up front. If you split that cost across only a few hundred robots, the per unit cost is sky high. Figure isn't buying millions of custom sub-gram tactile sensors or harmonic drive motors yet. They are buying hundreds. They don't get the massive volume discounts that a consumer electronics giant gets. Even with a target retail price of around $20,000 to $24,000 for a scaled Figure 3, the raw materials alone likely swallow most of the budget right now. So the NVIDIA Jetson AGX Thor T5000, that's the processor, that's the chip that is in Figure 3. And I didn't confirm that with Brad Adcock, but this is what my research is showing. So if Brett, if you're listening, I would love for you to come on the pod. I know this is a little beneath you, but gosh, it would be amazing. And we could talk about some things and get maybe fact check a few things on here. And also, Brett Adcock, I'd love to see if you have any plans on putting figures in nursing homes or helping the elderly, because I have such a soft spot for the elderly and I don't want anyone to feel alone. And a lot of elderly people do. So anyway, that NVIDIA Jetson AGX Thor T5000, the processor alone is roughly $3,000. And guys, remember I talked about that T5000 with the transistor engine in it, where it transitions to the different bits. You got like 16, 32. It can go from like an 8, 16, 32, and it can kind of transition between those depending on what kind of task it is doing. And of course, 32 takes the most power. And if you go down to like a 4-bit, there's 4, 8, 16, 32. Like 4 takes the least amount of power, but it's also the least accurate. And you don't have to be accurate. You don't have to be perfectly calculating every single step that you're taking forward. You just got to be able to move your body right, not fall over. So anyway, you might use like a 4. FP, like a 4-bit. And anyway, so this the Thor T5000 has that transistor engine in it, and it can go ahead and do the bit flip. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, okay, moving on. So there's a battery pack that you can put onto Figure, 2.3 kilowatt battery pack, the 2 kilowatt wireless inductive charging feet, and the complex stereo 3D vision stack, the palm cameras, and the 44 degrees of freedom. Dozens of precision electronic actuators and motors. Degrees of freedom is the number of independent movements its joints can make, and that's DOF. And you need that DOF for that DTF. Let's go. All right. You here for my cheesy jokes. You guys have heard that joke a lot, and that is an ode to my cousin in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They talk like that. You need that DOF for that DTF. Not mean. Okay, moving on. The RAS. We're talking about RAS. I've talked about this before, but we're talking about RAAS, and that's like SaaS, software as a service. This is RAS, robotics as a service, for deployments like the BMW plant in Spartanburg or the new Catalyst brand hub in Reno. Okay, these companies generally aren't buying the robots outright for a flat fee. They are utilizing a RAS, a robot as a service subscription model, and that seems right. And I kind of like thought about this, or I wouldn't say predicted, but I've been thinking through this, like how this model would work. Like 2 years ago when I started thinking about Figure or like any humanoid robot that would be deployed, it just makes sense because Figure is absorbing all the upfront manufacturing costs and charging a lower monthly operational rate to compete with human hourly wages. It will take months or years of continuous uptime on a single unit just to break even on the physical hardware. So if they are losing money on hardware, why deploy them at all? Because right now, data is infinitely more valuable than profit margin. Ding, 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 ding. I tried to do the ding, ding, ding. Like, there it is. There's the line that we've all been waiting for in this whole entire riff. I'll call this a riff, even though I'm reading my research. It's a research riff. And that's the line we've all been waiting for. Every hour, a figure 3 spends sorting Aeropastel apparel in Reno or handling parts at a BMW. Its stereo cameras, palm sensors, and sub-gram tactile fingertips are recording real-world physics data. That data is beamed back via their new 10 Gbps wave wireless links to train the Helix 2 neural network. And let me see if I could find the, I'm going to play a little shrimp jazz here while I try to find this information, because we've talked about the wave. Here we are. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'll be right back. Let me check my notes. Oh, okay. This is so fun, guys. Okay, so I got some notes. Let's see. I have talked about the foot induction, and sorry, need to be on mic. Hello. Now you can hear me. And how it works. Basically, what I'm getting at is the hive mind. Yeah. Okay, fine notes. Fine. So what I was getting at is the hive mind. What happens is figure will go to its foot induction. Which is its charging station, and then it will it uploads everything, just like I just said. So it uploads everything to Helix at BotQ, and it uploads everything to the Hive Mind, and then and then it pushes out the update to all of the other figures everywhere, wherever all the other figures are. So whatever whatever the figure learned that day, like if it tripped and it did a trip recovery, things like that, or it came across a new scenario and it's zero-shotting, right? So it came across a new scenario and then it had a fallback on its simulation training to try to find a scenario that was similar to the scenario that is now experienced in the real world, and it's got to fall back on that training to figure out this new real world physical scenario, and then it figured it out. So things like that, it will update at night to the hive mind, and then all of that gets pushed to the other robots. And so that's why it is that's why, even though if they're losing money, that this part is important, because all of that data is going to make the profit. It's going to turn the profit. That essentially, like in the end, all of that data is going to turn the profit, because all the robots are trained on it and they're better robots for it. Yes, they're getting pumped up, man. They're getting stacked every night when they get that update. That's what's going on. They're getting that Brontosaurus pill. They're getting hardy over there. That hardy mind, man. With the updates at night. That's what I'm saying. So Figure is sacrificing short-term hardware margins to build the most robust, highly trained physical AI foundation model on Earth. Once the software is perfected and manufacturing hits tens of thousands of units, the cost to build the robot will plummet. The software capability will skyrocket, and that is when the real profit margins finally show up. So now I was wondering about the funding. So the funding, because I saw pictures of Ashton Kutcher was at Figure. So he's a big investor of tech, the Uber investor guy, and good for him for investing in Uber early and then making a lot of money. That is great. That is what you can do in America. So you get in there early. So Ashton Kutcher's in there. I saw Tony Robbins was in there with his, with his boat shoes. That's what he wears. He wears those boat boat shoes and those Dockers. So he was in there, and then other people were in there. Other like famous people were in there, and they were certainly investing. So, why? So if you're not making any money right now, how does that work with investors? Like I said, they're betting on Brett Adcock. Brett Adcock has a very solid track record, like Elon Musk does, and like Paul Mikesell does. So the playbook Figure is sacrificing So, and also in the beginning, I want to say Jeff Bezos, he was an early investor in Figure as well as part of the Series B round. So let's see. The private equity world. You don't need a company to be profitable today to make a massive return. When investors put money into a startup, they are buying equity. All right, a percentage of ownership. They aren't looking for a quarterly dividend check from robot sales. They are betting on the company's valuation skyrocketing. Basically, what I was saying, you're betting on the person to make it happen, and then it will be a financial upside. February 2024, that was a Series B. Investors bought in when the company was valued at $2.6 billion. In September 2025, that's a Series C. So, the next year, Figure raised another $1 billion, but this time the company was valued at $39 billion. They went from $2.6 billion in February 2024 to $39 billion in September 2025. In about 18 months, the value of the shares bought in the 2024 round multiplied by roughly 15 times. The investors haven't made a dime of actual cash yet, but their portfolio looks incredibly healthy on paper. Investors only see real money when a liquidity event or exit happens. There are three main ways this plays out. This is fun. This is super fun. The IPO, initial public offering. That's what SpaceX just did. The company goes public on the stock market once the lockup period ends. Early investors can sell their shares to regular retail investors at vastly inflated public price. Acquisition. We know what an acquisition is. Secondary markets before a company even goes public. Early investors can sell their private shares to other private investors who want in on the action. The winner takes all bet. Investors know that bridging the gap between a general AI brain and specialized hardware, perfecting degrees of freedom, integrating precise initial measurement units, that's for balance, things like that, guys, and scaling the physical chassis, the gate, is insanely expensive, but they are playing a winner-takes-all game. Right now, the foundation models that aim to control any robot body, capital is splitting into a few specific lanes. Okay, let me go back. So right now, capital is splitting into a few specific lanes. The brain, foundation models like skilled AI that aim to control any robot body. It's the android of robots. You could put the brain in any body. It will figure out how to work that body. The body, full stack industrial OEMs like Figure and Unitree, proving they can do actual work in factories. The parts, the picks and shovels layer, companies making better actuators, batteries, and joints. They are throwing billions at this because the first company to crack general purpose physical AI and successfully scale manufacturing isn't just building a product. They are effectively creating a new global labor force. The $1 trillion bet is that the eventual payoff will dwarf the massive cash burn happening today. So let's see. So Brett, I said he had a solid portfolio. He started with Vettery in 2030, an AI-driven talent recruitment marketplace, and then it was successfully sold it to the Adcock group in 2018 for 100 to 110 million. An electric vertical takeoff and landing company called Archer Aviation in 2018. He co-founded it and took it public via a SPAC in 2021. So he is no longer a part of that company, and it sits around $4.5 billion as of early 2026. And then he founded Figure in 2022. And let's see. And then Cover is the company. Cover is an AI security startup aiming to prevent school shootings by using licensed NASA jet propulsion lab technology to passively scan crowds for concealed weapons. He founded that in late 2023. It remains an active, privately held project. And then he founded Hark in 2025. His newest secretive venture, aiming to replace traditional laptops and phones with entirely new hardware designed from the ground up for personal AI interaction. That's going to be super fun. He self-funded the launch with $100 million. In May 2026, Hark raised an additional $700 million at a $6 billion valuation. So, and then he also invested in Scout AI, and I've talked about Scout AI, and his brother, Colby Adcock, he co-founded Scout AI, which is a defense tech startup building an autonomous AI architecture like Fury. I've talked about Fury before. That's a vision language action model. And for an unmanned military warfare and drone swarms. So Brett invested in that. Scout AI recently closed a massive $100 million Series A in April 2026, making it one of the heaviest hitters in the emerging AI defense space right now. So there you have it, folks. That's all the financials. And I think that's super exciting. And Tony Robbins, Kutcher over there, Ashton Kutcher over there, they got in on Hark too. They got in on Hark. I'd get in on Hark if I could one day. I would love to be an angel investor as I spill my coffee all over my foot. One day, a venture capitalist and angel investor. Let's go. Let's get a little more shrimp jazz. Let's get some good energy, good timeline energy. What are we doing? We're riding around space time, trying to jump timelines, getting on the timeline that we want. Let's go. That's angel investor, VC of tech companies. Yeah. With my $16 in my E-Trade account. The $16 that Croc was like, what you doing with that, girl? What you doing with $16, you peasant? You think you're gonna invest in a SpaceX with that? Think again. Well, I'm thinking, and I'm thinking it up, manifesting, visualizing. That's right. So we're just gonna do a little, moving a little bit of making some vibrations in the universe. In the meantime, here we go. What else is going on, guys? Let's see. I think I'm checking my systems here. Okay, we're about time. We're almost an hour here. We're almost an hour in, so I think I'm gonna end it. Let's see. What should we end it on? Should we just end it? End it? Should we thank the sun for continuing its orbit around Earth and ending this podcast? I think so. I think we're just gonna end on that. So guys, have a beautiful rest of the week, and I will see you next time. Bye.